there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making card number 6 in my Springtime Joy online class. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current class kit I'm offering. Now this is an adorable Easter card. It's a top folding card. So let's get started. From your envelope with your card bases and your DSP, there should be only a couple of things left there. This is going to be a top folding card, so we have that. And then for your cardstock, you're going to need Whisper, Basic White, Highland Heather, and Misty Moonlight. So let's get our trimmer out. We'll start by getting our card base, and we're going to score it at 5.5. Use our scoring blade, the lighter colored one. Fold it away and then get our bone folder and crease that fold like that. So that's ready. Next we're going to do our basic white. We need 4.25 by 5.5 for stamping. So this is 5.5, so I'm just going to make that 4.25. And that's a lot. I'm not sure if we need that much. And then we need 3.75 by 5 for the inside. 3.75 by 5 will be the inside sentiment. And then, so we don't need that. Highland Heather. Now I have a little more than 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So, so let's find 4 1/8. So it's not going to be a 1/16 more. It's going to be more like in between the 1/16 and the, so 4 1/8 and maybe a 32nd, and halfway into that 1/16. But you don't have to. I mean, that's me. I just wanted it to cover up as much of the white as possible, so there's just a really thin white. So, and then 5 3/8, just a little bit more. So it's halfway between that next 1/16 of an inch. So you can see I just took that little bit much off, not much. So that's going to go in the front. Let's check that out and make sure it's going to leave just a tiny, I'll do it on this side, just a tiny bit of white. That's what I wanted. So that's what we're going to get. And let's see. So what else for Highland Heather? 3 by 4. So we'll get a 3 by 4, and I'm thinking that's for die cutting. So that's for die cutting. And then lastly, 4 by 5.25. 4 by 5.25. So we really used up our Highland Heather. I think we started out with like 3 sheets. So lots of Highland Heather in this class kit. Okay, then Misty Moonlight. Let's see. This is the 5.5 this way. So let's do 3.75 by 5.25. And then, is this a quarter? Oh, this is a 1/4 of an inch, but we need 3/8 of an inch. So 3 1/4. I'm going to cut this one first. 3 1/4 by 3/8. And I'm going to use this over here to measure. That is for the front here. Okay, so we'll put that with our, and then these go with our other stuff. And then our DSP, we're going to use both sides. This one is going to be 3 5/8. So we'll go ahead and cut it at 3 5/8 this way. And then we're going to cut it at 5 1/8. 5 1/8. And this is cut at, so it looks like this is 3/4. That's going to be a little bit hard to cut, but not impossible. 3/4 wide. Going to hold it down tight while I cut it. 3/4 wide and 3 3/8. So 3 3/8 long. 3/4 wide, 3 3/8 long. And that's going to go on the front here, like this. Just like that. And then that little blue piece is going to go on front of that. Okay, so let's get some stamping done. So, looks like we're going to use some Pimento black ink and some gorgeous grape, and we're going to stamp the bunny Welcome Spring. We're going to die cut that, and the basket. So we'll start by stamping the bunny. It doesn't really matter too much, just a little hot closer to the top than the bottom, because we're going to need room to do some other stamping. Okay, so there's my bunny. So clean that off. And now I'm going to get my plastic, but I'm not going to put it in the corner. I'm going to put it like on that first line there, because I want to be able to put my paper under there. So I'm going to put it here towards the edge of the plastic, the basket. I'm going to stamp our basket. And now I want to put that basket right beside the bunny. Let me move that. I want to put it right beside the bunny so that it looks like, but a little bit in front of the bunny. You see how this is a little bit in front of the bunny. And we want them so that they look like they're both sitting on the same level of ground. I'll move the bunny over a little bit. I want it to kind of be touching the basket, or almost touching the basket. Okay, that's good. Get this magnet up and ink up my stamp. Stamp my basket next to my bunny. And then lastly, I'll clean that off. I'm going to do the Welcome Spring and Gorgeous Grape. So get my plastic out here. And I'm going to put it at that first line again. And welcome spring over here on the edge. So I have plenty of room to slide my cardstock under there. Welcome spring. And that's going to go underneath the bunny and the basket, kind of. Like right there. Okay. So I will stamp that now with my gorgeous grape. Welcome spring. Next, I'll clean that off. And let's see, what are we going to do next? The inside. And clean off my plastic. And the inside is going to be the Easter greeting. Easter is a loving reminder of new beginnings. I'm going to just kind of put that in the center. Ink that up with gorgeous grape. And then I'm going to slide this 3 3/4 by 5 underneath there and center it. And I'm going to put ink up my stamp. Okay, and then clean that off. We'll do our butterfly next. Clean my plastic off too. Put my butterfly there and make sure he's flying up. Gorgeous grape. I'll slide this under between the A and the F. Ink up my stamp. There's my butterfly. Clean up my stamp, my little butterfly stamp, and my plastic, which I'm done with now. So that's our stamping. Put our inks away. Make sure you don't have any ink on your fingers. Now we're going to do some die cutting. Well, coloring. We're going to do some coloring first. Trying to get ahead of myself. So for Highland and Heather and light and dark Highland Heather, the light Highland Heather for this one here on the far left, and then the one that's in the middle there between those two, and then dark Highland Heather for the middle flower, the big one in the center, and then this one here on the end. And then our light light Old Olive for the leaves. And then we're going to do this egg in Old Olive. And then we're going to do the egg in the front in dark Highland Heather. We're going to do that egg in light Misty Moonlight. Bring in some other colors here. Light Misty Moonlight. And then Light Daffodil Delight in the back there. And I might just do this little bit right here too. I think I missed it in this one. Okay. Now for our basket, we're going to take light crumb cake and well, if you want to take if you have light and dark crumb cake, you're going to take the dark crumb cake and you're going to go here. And it looks like this one is dry. Oh my goodness. All right, so that one's not going to work. I ordered more, so it's on its way tomorrow. I'm not going to wait to do this video. So I'm going to go over this twice. Since I don't have the dark, the little like little vertical square rectangle-y things, I am going to go over that twice with my, and that'll make it nice and dark, darker than just one coat. I'll give it some dimension. And I might just go one more time and make that really dark. There we are doing some, so I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of making that dark, skipping a few. Same here. Okay, so now I've got my dark. Now I'm just going to lightly come quickly and color the rest so that I do have some contrast there. Okay. I will put it up close so you can see that there is contrast there. Okay, and then light Highland Heather for my butterfly. Dark Highland Heather for the body of the butterfly and the little circles. Now for the bunny, you don't have to do this. This is the shading that we've been doing, taking light smoky slate or light Highland Heather, light smoky slate or light gray granite. And I'm just going to go around the edge slightly, but not up to the black line. I am doing a little bit, so I'll put that up there so you can take a look at it. See what I did? Now I'm going to take my blender bullet tip. And I'll bring this in so you can see. And I'm kind of just going to erase that. And while I'm erasing it, I'm going to blend it out to the center. Avoiding those black lines because this can smear them and make them look blotchy. Okay, now I'll let you look at it. Here's my bunny with a shadow. Trying to get it there. Okay, so now we're going to die cut. Okay, second largest oval die. 1, 2. And we're going to die cut our little bunny. And I should have did this before I brought in my machine. Hopefully you can still see. I'm just centering that so that it looks right. I'm down here in the left hand corner. Okay, that looks it's really not straight. I have to look at it dead on, and I can't do that in the camera, so you have to excuse me while I do this. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I've got it around the bunny. So I'm going to run that through. And then for the get my piece of Highland Heather, and then that's going to be cut with the largest scalloped oval die. So that's the largest one. Put that on there. Run it through. And that cracking is normal. That just means it's doing its job. Okay, so are we ready to start putting our card together? I think so. Awesome. I'm bringing all my papers and everything here. Okay. Let's see. We don't have any ribbon to worry about. So it looks like this is going to go on top of our Misty Moonlight. I'll get my Stampin' Seal. Misty Moonlight. It's a 1/16 of an inch all around. That's going to go on, are these the same size? One is a little bit bigger. So the bigger one goes on the outside, and this goes on top of the bigger one. Now this doesn't have even spacing all around. So you're going to have to keep that in mind when you're lining it up. There's more space on the sides than top and bottom. That's going to go on front of our card. And remember, there's just a tiny, 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 tiny bit of white showing. It might be a little hard to get it lined up. Okay. Sorry to make that harder for you. Okay, so let's do the inside. This is going to go on top of our Highland Heather. For the inside, the smaller piece of Highland Heather. And that's 1/8 of an inch. And that's going to go here. Now, I'm going to put this on with some glue. So let me get my glue. Go around the edges there. Yay! And then this goes on with mini dimensionals. So let me get those out. I don't know how many I used, so I'm just gonna guess. I know that I don't go skimpy on them. And this is what I like to do. You can take the backing off any way that you feel comfortable doing. There's always one in the crowd, right? Alrighty. I think I missed one. Nope. Just doesn't have a hole in it. Okay, so this is going to go near the top and in the center. Let me see if I can. I mean, it was really close, but I still wanted it perfect, you know. Welcome spring. Oh goodness. Needs to come up over here. There. Now this is going to go on the reverse of that card's DSP. I'm just going to use little dots in the center and put that in the center of the paper, DSP. Trying to get it straight and even. Okay, that's good enough. And then that's going to go on the front. I'll do that with some glue. Just kind of here in the center, but between there. Make sure that it's level, because that's important. Centered and level. Now we're going to get these clear epoxy droplets. There's 3 big ones and 3 small ones. We're going to put one big one in the center, and that looks about right. Then we're going to put one big one to the right and up a little, and one big one to the left and down a little, like that. Now, that's not quite even. This one needs to come over a little bit. So I want them wonky like that. Then this one is going to go down. This one is going to go up. And this one is going to go on the bunny's biggest flower, right there. And our card is finished. All right, well, thanks for joining me for this class. This is our last project. So I will see you in our next class. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current class I am offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.